Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Sean.
So today in this our little podcast, the audio is good. I hope. I'm pretty sure it is. So we're gonna be talking about really a controversial subject just in today's America society. It's been going on, I'd say, for over 200 years now, and that's basically like racial profiling and racism. It's a really major topic that needs to be discussed and it needs to be solutionized ASAP. But there's this article that I read, and this article explains about how
people don't know what racial profiling is.
Yeah, and also how people who are in the justice force don't actually use justice correctly, and they throw basically justice at innocence. One of my favorite articles is by Doug Landville. He's a professional baseball player. He's in his early 40s, I think. He basically released this article around April 14, 2014. And basically this article is just saying about how he was shoveling out this guy's driveway and he got detained for it. What's your opinion on that?
I think it's a little racist.
Yeah.
Because of his skin.
Yeah. And
there's no reason for it.
Oh, here, we're gonna find a quote right now. It's like one of my favorite quotes in this that I thought was funny was, not funny, just really just why kind of. This is right here. Doug just got detained by West Hartford police in front of our house while shoveling our driveway. I think there's some major racism going on. If a dude was shoveling his driveway or a neighbor's driveway and he gets detained for it, what's your opinion on just someone who just gets arrested for shoveling out someone's driveway? And basically, like, what's your opinion on that?
Maybe the guy didn't like him being on his property.
I don't know.
Then he just called and explained.
I found out that the mayor actually of the town, and it says in an article that the mayor lives right behind that dude who got arrested. So what would the mayor think about that cop? Would he discharge him? Because I'm pretty sure that cop, that mayor probably knew that guy.
I'm not too sure.
And right here, here's the example of what happened was. It says a police officer from West Hartford had pulled up across the street, exited his vehicle, and began walking in my direction. I noted the strangest from him being Hartford, which is a completely different city of where this guy was living. So this guy from a totally different city, this cop from, for example, Stockton, comes up to Valley Springs and arrests a dude for shoveling his driveway. I know it doesn't snow in Valley Springs. That's just
It can.
I mean, yeah. But that's just an a little, for example. And he just says, the cop says to the dude, he says, "Still, you're trying to make a few extra bucks shoveling people's driveway around here." I just really think that cop was a really bad cop. I think that cop should have got discharged or something because he
won't get arrested for that.
I know he won't get arrested.
He won't get arrested for trying to get money. I mean, everyone needs money.
I don't think he should get arrested for trying to get money. I just think he should be discharged because I thought that was really incredibly racist from a guy from a total different...
I was talking about the guy shoveling the snow.
I thought you were talking about the cop. That was okay. So, okay, we're on the same page. But I'm just saying, for you, the watcher, what is your opinion on a dude, for example, from Stockton, California? He comes into Valley Springs, and you can totally tell it has a Stockton police logo on it, and he arrests you for just standing out in your driveway. I think that's just not right.
Wait, his own driveway?
Yeah, he got arrested in his neighbor's or his own driveway. It's pretty funny. What's funny was
suspicious.
I don't know. How can you shovel a driveway, and how can that be suspicious? Just shoveling your own driveway.
Well, with articles, people can change the story quite a bit, and they don't actually tell the truth of what they see, and they can just make the writer look better. Or the cop.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I'm speaking of media. Apparently, Doug Glanville got his story on New York Times and ESPN. And he apparently had conversation with the West Hartford leaders, something that might be hard to achieve, I guess, for him, Mm-hmm. But they supported him, and they said that he got his attorneys. So I think what he did, I think he got his justice really well. I thought that was a bug. But no, I think he got his justice really well. But people out there who don't get their justice, such as the Jim Crow, I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it policing or policy? Policy. This one was also another really big issue, which is called the Jim Crow issue. It's just a really deep controversial racial problem. And basically this article by Bob Herbert, which is called Jim Crow, he states about how like the majority of percent of black people get arrested and majority of Mexicans compared to whites. It's really messed up, like just to see like oh, the white just how people's like, oh, if you're white you get privileges, and if you're black you get sentenced to jail, and if you're Mexican,
over time, that stuff's just gonna get worse.
Yeah, it's just gonna get worse and worse. Why can't we just all live equally and just have equal, like, that's what America was originally for, was everyone to have equal rights. And now it feels like that we're all basically judged by our skin. Basically we have like what's the word, what the heck is the word, I swear. I don't know what the word is, but like basically you can't like access it because segregation, I guess you would call it, but like there's another term for it, which I don't really like the word for, but basically says, hey, you can't do this because you don't have this. That's what basically it feels like today with America, is like, if you're white you can do anything, but if you're black you can't, and it's not cool. I think we should all just have a handshake and talk and just all be humans, because that's what we're all for. We're all Homo sapiens. I mean, there's some of us who are Homo erectus, but those people are like cavemans, but which I am one. No. But we should all just agree and just have an agreement with each other and stop all this baloney and just have a talk and just see if everything works out. I think that we all, just everyone from each side needs to have a talk and says, hey, this is what's going on. I need this and we need this. We need to all work together and unite if we're all going to keep ripping apart.
But like, you can't stop racism.
Oh, I know you can't stop racism, but you can change people. You can change the majority's minds.
You can't change how people view other people.
Well, I know that, but that's like same-sex marriage. Some people back in the 60s didn't like same-sex marriage, but now look at it. Most of it is now okay with it.
Yeah.
So I think what we need to do is we just need to put more effort and just make our world a nicer place. Just be kind to each other. That's another thing too, is just everyone should be kind to each other.
Yeah.
Because if we're all kind with each other, then there should be no racial issue. Like there shouldn't be a problem just because his skin's a different color. Like we should all just be treated fairly and equally. Just be kind to each other. That's what kindness is for. And you know, and that's about it for this little podcast. I know we didn't share much, but I just wanted to get that out of the way because I felt like that Doug Glanville deserves he deserves to get his point across, because bad cops like that and from another city, it's not cool. Like that's just abusing your power, in my opinion. Just going in someone else's district, and
Yeah. But if you work for that district.
I mean, if you work for the district, that's understandable. But that guy wasn't working for the district. He was working for another district.
Okay.
And that's about it for this article. I'm sorry that I talked most of the time, but it's okay.
That's how it works.
Yep. And woo.